Good evening and welcome to Geekology. I'm David Zabilia.
And I'm Sven Harley.
And tonight, by popular request, we are going back to the Star Trek Starships official collective. Blah 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 blah. There is just no quick way of doing it.
Absolutely.
There just isn't. So, since we did the last one was episode 9, so now we're up to issue 9. So we're 10, 11, 12, 13 and the free gift.
Yes.
So, where would you like to start?
Should we start with this?
Okay.
Yeah, I can now see why people were calling it a desk lamp.
Yeah, the forums were not kind about this free gift.
Yeah.
Oh, well, let's do it. Let's
it's a freebie.
Let's be absolutely fair. It's a freebie.
Yeah.
So, are we really going to slate the quality because it was a freebie? Because as far as I'm concerned, it should be the same quality as the rest of the collection.
Yeah, it really should.
It's entirely plastic,
yeah,
but it does light up.
Yeah.
The detailing is nice, but it's not picked out.
Yeah. It's a massive, massive missed opportunity.
Yeah.
For me. Again, no base like Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
That's annoying. To be honest, a little bit of dry brushing, just so it looks a bit more like that, would have been a good idea.
Yeah, it is kind of a wonder that we get the Borg Sphere first and then the cube after the sphere. It's,
I mean, comparing the two, it's just a shame that some of the painting effects that are on that haven't gone here.
You see,
really.
I know you were going it's a freebie, but as far as I'm concerned, you had to agree to so many issues for the subscription.
Exactly.
So for me, again, I thought the lighting, it's a nice idea. Do one that lights up. Yeah. Playmate did that.
Yeah.
Okay, they didn't do it quite as well. But the Playmate Borg Cube was really quite nice in comparison with this. I didn't like the Playmate Cube. I thought the external mesh being that far out and all the rest of it, but it looks more detailed than this.
Yeah.
And yet this has more detailing on it because they didn't bother brushing it out. I think they put the green light panel in. It doesn't hum.
No, I know what you mean.
If they were going to go
pinging, is it?
losing the metal,
so
it's all plastic, they could have put a sound chip in it. Just so that, you've got to turn it on and off for the lights anyway, so why not just have a little background? It could have worked. Or again, see, as far as I'm concerned, it didn't need to light up. Yeah. But they could have actually made this properly 3-dimensional. They could have layered a few pieces for it. If they were doing it in plastic, it's simple. You do one layer and then have a pegging system on top of another layer and have a pegging system on top of it. Technically, they could have made a whole cube. They could have made, and they still could have had it light up. You just put a little tiny LED in the centre. They missed a lot of opportunities there. And again, no base. Yeah. So it really didn't win any award to me. It's going at the back of the shelf. Actually, I'm going to take the batteries out and then put it at the back of the shelf because I can't imagine.
Just don't put the batteries in because it doesn't come with any.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? I put the batteries in so I could see it light up. Yeah. But what I mean is it's going straight on the back of the shelf. It's not.
It's interesting that the design is based on first contact rather than.
To be absolutely fair, how many people can pick out the cubes? Because you had 3 different style of cubes for the Next Generation. You had the movie. Yeah. I lost count of how many Borg cubes they had in Voyager.
And most of those
they
CG
changed. Anyway. Yeah, but they changed the cube. See, that threw me. I expected the same cube, and they changed the cubes, or maybe they just showed it with different angles.
Possibly,
but it's a
but that light patterning is definitely
the light patterning is first contact. So yeah. Okay, but more importantly, the ships. Now, I was a little bit disappointed with my Sphere when it first arrived because when I took it out of the box, there was residual paint on the bottom of the box from the cube, and it basically the top or bottom, depending on what you want to call it. This is one of the you can put it on. Yeah, but you can put it on the stand either way around.
Yeah.
So it's up to you. It came away, so I was very, very disappointed. I phoned them up. No problem. 14 days they ship me out a new one.
Fair enough.
So yeah, that's the one thing I will give their customer care team. You phone up with a legitimate. They did the same with my free gift of the plaque. Phoned up saying, this is the problem. They shipped me one straight out. So
I mean, I've had a replacement Excelsior because
your one had a really crooked dish, didn't it? My one wasn't too bad.
I've had another one through which is absolutely aligned properly.
Aligned properly.
That's cool.
Okay, so what did you actually think of the Sphere?
Well, it's what it should be. The details picked out with some dry brushing. Where the lights would have been, they've put some green glowy paint.
A bit disappointed with the main seam. There you go. Runs down.
Yeah.
But again, depending on how you describe it, that's right. You have to have a seam.
You have to have a seam, and you have to look really well to see that. To be fair,
yeah.
And you can always put it at the back of the display. So, that I don't have a problem with that. That's perfect.
Detailing was good. Paint job was okay. A little heavy on the green for my particular taste.
Yeah.
But I thought for what it was, and again, I still feel good value for money.
Yeah, absolutely. Then we come to, well, possibly one of your most
it was the one I was
favourite ships.
really waiting for.
Yeah.
And I tell you, I know it's going to sound really stupid, but one of the things that really pleased me about this wasn't so much that the detailing is lovely.
Yeah.
Wasn't that if you look it up, the nacelles there's no imperfections, there's no moulding points.
There's no mark points,
the light shines through them perfectly. Because I have said to you that this is one of the things that I feel disappointed about.
Yeah.
Do you know what the thing was that really pleased me about this? That it's not in scale with their Enterprise A. They actually made a proper saucer section and did it properly, because I genuinely thought that we might have a rehash of that saucer with bolt-on, but pretty much what they did with the Enterprise D three nacelles.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to do that.
I must admit that I'm the opposite to you. I'm slightly annoyed it's not into scale with the Enterprise refit.
Really?
Yeah, because I was kind of thinking they'd look quite good next to each other, but you'll have to keep them at kind of a distance to make it make sense now.
Yeah, but this would be so much smaller.
True. I am wondering actually if this means we'll get the Enterprise A in grey rather than blue when that finally comes.
Possibly.
Because obviously that's one of the big differences with the Enterprise A is when it was on film it looked more white than the refit did of 1701. Looking at the detail on this, suddenly, we said several times the Reliant was going to be a test, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was going to be the ship.
Test passed.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We're right down to the point where we've actually got the shuttle bays numbered, which is brilliant. Absolutely
you see,
brilliant.
The thing is, this is issue 11. So people who are sticking with this by now are sticking with it.
Yeah.
People that aren't have gone.
Yeah.
I was genuinely worried after the Defiant.
Yeah.
That was just. And Defiant and the Excelsior.
Yeah.
And
I've been.
Don't start me on the Voyager. But weirdly enough, these 4 ships, I'm really happy with them.
I know.
The quality seems to have gone back up.
Yeah.
And the attention to detail is there.
It's as if they're actually listening to us.
Yeah, but the thing is, they can't be, because these must have been manufactured, God knows when in comparison. So
let's have a look at that one, because I haven't had a look at one of these outside of its packaging yet.
I'll tell you what, you can have a look at that. I tell you what I really like about this one is the fact that it's not a standard ship.
No,
it's one of the offbeat ones.
Yeah.
And how many people know that it's War of the Worlds?
I know. The Akira class, which is actually the USS Thunderchild, It's quite an obscure ship, really, considering I think pretty much the only time it's mentioned is actually in the production notes for.
What, the name of the ship?
Yeah.
Yeah, the name of the ship was in the production notes and it was in one of the manuals.
Yeah.
It was in one of the manuals. And it's also, I believe, I would have to double check that I've seen it on Star Trek Alpha on the ship registration lists. But again, who bothers reading the ship registration? I mean, yeah. I knew about it because obviously I'm a huge War of the Worlds fan and still go and see the musicals. So when I heard about it, actually, I'm guessing you mentioned it.
Possibly. I mean, I'm guessing a lot of people watching this actually are going, "Why Thunderchild?" Thunderchild, HMS Thunderchild is actually the steamer in War of the Worlds.
Which is funny because there was a whole steam runner class of Starship. So it was just a nice nod.
I think they might have got their wires crossed actually when they were doing the first contact, because the steam runner class probably should have been the Thunderchild and the Akira class.
There was a whole load. There was the Kira class, the steam runner. There was a whole load of Borg fighting. It was strange.
As well as the Defiant class.
Do you get the feeling that the CG department was going, we need more money, turn out more ships?
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, I mean,
but it's a wonderfully rendered model.
Yeah, I mean, the detailing's not as great as on some of the other ships, but then again,
it's a CG model.
Yes. I mean, in First Contact there was a model made, but it was a very basic model, which is one of the reasons why none of the Akira classes have ever had the name of the ship on them. It's just a registration number.
Just the original numbers.
Which, it's a shame it hasn't got the USS Thunderchild written on it somewhere. But then again, it didn't have on screen, so that's probably might be another reason why it's just called Akira class on the bottom of the base.
But it is a really nice ship. Again, value for money.
Yeah, and let's face it, how else are you ever going to get an Akira class ship officially?
Oh yeah,
it's not going to happen.
So it's just, they just did a nice job with it.
Yeah.
Simple. I mean, yes, you can see the seam across the nacelles. Yes, the main deflector dish is picked out in the same blue plastic and blah, blah, blah. But it's...
Is it blue plastic?
Yeah, it's the same blue that they use for the nacelles.
It's a weird navigation. Weird
navigation
deflector
put it on as a nub.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But yeah, it looks very nice in the collection.
Yeah. And then
it's one of those that works.
Yes, also, I mean, this is the thing, it's not something you'd ever expect.
You're going to laugh when you hear this. When I opened mine, I went, that's not right. The colour's wrong. And I went and checked the manual and went, oh yeah, that's because the Dominion class ships, it depends on the size as to the colour.
Yeah.
And
this is one of the big attack cruisers, isn't it?
That.
It's not one of the mothership ones because they were ridiculous.
Wasn't this like the second largest ship in their fleet?
Yeah, something like that. I'm no huge expert when it comes to Dominion vessels, to be fair, but yeah.
There are DS9 fans out there cursing you for not knowing.
Quite possibly. But this does. I mean, talk about a departure from everything else.
Yeah.
That's one hell of a ship.
It is.
Something completely different. Though it has got a bit of the who's knocks about it.
Yeah, I mean, I was really pleased with this. I'll tell you why. Changing the base design, which shows that they really are concentrating on that.
Yeah.
Fits in well with the design of the ship. They didn't try picking any of this out in the different colour plastics they did with the Federation ships, which they could have done quite easily in the purples and the pinks, but they just went for a paint job. And to tell you the truth, for the money, fantastic. It really is. Been playing with some of the HeroClix and Star Trek Tactics ships, and so I'm starting to get really into playing with fiddly little ones, far different from the micro machines, which were the lighter plastics. So having good sized metal ships is just nice. And again, it comes down, as far as I'm concerned, it really just comes down to cost.
Yeah.
I still feel, even though I was very disappointed with a number of the last issues of Voyager being the worst.
Yeah.
Even with those disappointments, I still feel that you're getting good value for money.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a dedicated shelving now set up for them. and for the continuing run. So yeah, I've got no plans on cancelling my subscription, although I do have to say I did cancel my subscription for the folder.
Yeah, so
Yeah. So
because it's just the same folder over and over again in blue, so I'm just
yeah, and it damages the
damages
issues.
magazine.
So yeah, I decide how I'm going to do this. Whether I'm just going to bag them or whether I want to put them in folders. But you know, the magazines are still really nice as well.
I mean, this is the interesting thing is with the Borg Sphere, there wasn't a great deal of detail we've had previously, so that was a good mag. Reliant, that was probably that's mainly regurgitation of stuff we've seen before.
I love the fact that that's the colour that I thought it was going to be.
Ah, right.
So you know, because again, that's where I go. You know me.
But what I'm finding interesting is with the Thunderchild and the Jem'Hadar attack cruiser is there hasn't been a great deal of this information previously. So this is new stuff we're getting on these two magazines. So the Thunderchild especially, that's a lot of new information in it. So this is where we start seeing the important reason for this collection in a way.
Yeah.
Is because we're starting to see, I mean, let's face it, with these 4 models here, the only ship out of these 4 that's ever been done as an official model kit is the Reliant.
Again and again.
And again. And only just recently been redone in about this size. But that's in a model kit that includes a Klingon ship and the Enterprise refit. And it's 30 quid for the model kit before you paint it, put it together and so on and so forth.
Yeah, but they're aiming for a different model.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I love the model kits. I really like the snap together ones because I don't have to paint them.
Yeah.
But I've always enjoyed the model. But as sad as it is, and I know this is sad, I own several of the model kits that I know I'm never going to do them. Way too much work. I mean, did you ever see the flight rockets they did?
Yeah.
Have you ever actually opened up one of those boxes?
No.
Okay, absolutely wounding. I assumed, because I bought the Classic Trek ones at the same time I bought the TNG one. TNG one is polystyrene with stickers that run down it, and then there's the launch rockets, and very little assembly required. Where on the Classic ones it says lots of assembly required, so I was like, oh, I'm never going to do that. And I thought, you know what, really nice if I set these up, and I did them. I opened the box. It's one flat sheet of plastic that you have to use scissors to cut the saucer section out. And then 3 cardboard tubes, one for the body and one for the nacelles, that you are meant to paint white, and then put paper on the end to it's like, what? Pardon? Sorry. And then I was looking at this sheet of plastic that you're meant to cut and mould yourself with a hairdryer into the right shape for the nacelles. And I was like, I'm meant to paint cardboard and put this...
No.
I was like, no, all back in the box. And yeah, at some point I'm going to get a cellophane resealer and shrink wrap that, because it's never going to happen. So when they produce these that I can have out on the shelves, and it's nice.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's just go for a nice generic overall score. Say 1 to 10.
Yeah.
What are you giving what?
Okay, Borg Cube first. I'm going to give 7, even though it's free and so on and so forth, because we are paying for it indirectly in a way, and it could have been better, but it's okay. I'm not going to.
I'm giving it a 5, so you can justify your score any way you like.
I just wish it had had some dry brushing done on it to pick out some of the detail.
Yeah. See, I don't mind that it's plastic.
Yeah.
I just mind that it looks cheap.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, if they'd just done that kind of effects on it.
Oh, if they'd have done that on it,
I'd
have been happy.
As far as the actual releases are concerned, I'm going to have to say, I don't know the Jem'Hadar ship brilliantly well, but that looks fine. That looks great to me. And considering you're never going to see another model of it, really, 9. The Reliant's great.
Yeah.
It was the one thing we were worried about, and it's turned out to be brilliant. So again, I'm going to give that a 9. Borg Sphere, an interesting choice to go with that in the first place.
Yeah.
Brave choice. I'm going to give it a 7. But it's still, I'm glad we've got it. And as for the Akira class, the the Thunderchild, again, it's one of those ships you're never ever going to see another model of it, are you?
No.
And though there isn't a great deal of detail on it, there wasn't a great deal of detail on its reference in the first place. I'm going to give it an 8.
Right, well, I agree with your 8.
Mm-hmm.
The Borg 7.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? 7.5. I love the detailing. I think they went a bit bonkers with green, but you know, it's nice. They did an okay job, but I can't really rave about it because of the seam, and the way it's the construction of it. But at the end of the day, it's a sphere. What can you do?
Yeah.
The Reliant gets a 9.
Yeah.
I'm very pleased with that. That's a really good one. And the Gemma Dark gets an 8.5.
Yeah.
Purely on the basis that again, ignoring their source material, I'd have to sit down and really go for it, but the colour didn't quite seem right. But again, there's the arguments, CGI over screen, over this, over that.
Lighting, etc.
But as a model, it's nice, you know.
Yeah.
It's good, it's solid. And it at the end of the day, these are only ever going to sell on the shelves. People aren't going to play with them. They're not that kind of toy. So yeah, I'm generally very pleased with the range. Right then, cool. Are there any comments you wish to do to
I'm just looking forward to some of the other ships we've never seen before, because I've had my faith restored because of Reliant, and these two, specifically these two new ones, have really caught my attention. The magazines have given me information I didn't know.
Actually, the next one's a Galore class. I'm looking forward to that. I know they've done model kits of it. Yeah. But I'm actually kind of looking forward to that. I kind of liked the Cardassian design.
AMT only did the one model, didn't they? And it never got reissued. Yeah. So that'd be interesting to see.
I hated the base for it as well, because they had a really long stem that came down to a Cardassian symbol base, and it never sat right on it. It's one of the few that I actually spent a long time making, and then was not happy about the end result. Well, I hope you enjoyed the review. Thank you very much for watching. You can subscribe to us here on YouTube. You can follow us both on the Geek-station website, on Twitter and Facebook. All these internet links at the bottom of these pages are getting longer and longer. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good night.